ready for the next battle.
The latest new character to be added to Tekken 7's roster was unveiled recently. Lucky Chloe, a breakdancing J-pop idol-inspired ultra-moe catgirl.
Hi! Lucky Chloe だよ.
Unsurprisingly, because, well, this is the internet, her reveal sparked a little bit of controversy, with some people claiming her design was just too kawaii and generic, and others claiming it was just too bizarre for Tekken. Don't worry, I'll come back to that point in a second.
Are you ready?
For what it's worth, I adore Chloe. I juggle between Lily, Asuka, Kunimitsu, and Lingy at the moment. I mean, I like flippy kick-ass female fighters, but she could be my new main. She's pretty adorable, and kind of reminds me of Yuriko from Bloody Roar. But not everyone is convinced, and the outcry has led Tekken boss Harada to tweet his disapproval and threaten to pull the character from North American releases of the game entirely. Though this is almost certainly just him doing a bit of trolling. Whatever her future though, some fans still aren't convinced Chloe has a place amongst the other fighters vying for a top spot in the King of Iron Fist tournament. So in the name of fairness, I've put together a list of current characters more ridiculous than she is. Enjoy.
You win.
See you next time. Bye!
Dr. Geppetto Boskanovich was a leading Russian scientist until he was kidnapped by Kazuya Mishima and forced to do genetic research in the name of martial arts, for some reason. He's responsible for the creation of several of Tekken's weirder characters, including the Jacks, Brian Fury's Robocop-like augmentations, and cyborg bodyguard Elisa, who is modelled after his own lost, presumably dead, daughter. Mind you, none of these come even close to the DNA-dabbled duo of Alex and Roger. They were both created in a lab by Boskanovich because science, and Roger went on to have a family. Until his wife divorced him and his son, Roger Jr., disowned his deadbeat dad and took his place in the King of Iron Fist tournament from the comfort of his mother's pouch. Alex, on the other hand, has never had such an involved storyline, probably because he was pretty much a paleontological palette swap of Roger. King was one of my favourite fighters in the earlier Tekken titles because I genuinely believed that he was some sort of awesome Jaguar man hybrid. In actual fact though, the truth is even more bizarre. There are actually two fighters by the name of King in Tekken history. One set up a home for orphans with his tournament prize money before getting murdered by Ogre, and the second was an orphan raised in said orphanage and trained by King's rival Armor King, who in turn was murdered by Marduk only to be avenged by his younger brother, also fighting as Armor King. That's not confusing at all. Whether any of these men can actually speak instead of just communicating in Jaguar growls is unknown, but the dedication to their craft is admirable, as is their ability to look kind of adorable when performing tombstone pile drivers. Then again, men who communicate solely through guttural grunts and snarls aren't all that preposterous when you consider the fact that there are actual animals stepping in and stealing human jobs at the Mishima Zaibatsu. Kuma was an abnormally intelligent bear raised and trained as a bodyguard for Heihachi Mishima, who also had a taste for human flesh. Thankfully, his son, Kuma 2, who takes over from his father in all games from Tekken 3 onwards, is a little bit of a softie. He loves television, Ling Zhao Yu's pet panda, and breaking wind in the face of his enemies, rather than, just eating them. Lifelong rival to both Kumas is Paul Phoenix, Jedward's unofficial third member. A kind of masked ninja Robin Hood, Yoshimitsu is head of the notorious Manji clan and wields a cursed sword passed down through generations that he can use as a helicopter and a pogo stick. Along with his fire-breathing rival Kunimitsu, he's the only character in Tekken, with the exception of mimic fighters like Mukujin, to use a weapon, which has got to be breaking tournament rules when you think about it. The Tekken franchise now plays host to 4 generations of the Mishima family, with corporate tyrant Kazuya at the centre of everything. After his father Heihachi attempts to kill him, first by throwing him off a cliff and then into a volcano, Kaz isn't much of a family man, punching a hole in the chest of his grandfather Jinpachi Mishima, turning him into dust, and attempting to murder his son Jin Kazama so he can steal his devil power. Oh yeah, Kazuya and Jin can turn into devils, and Jinpachi was once possessed by a malevolent ghost, and Kazuya has an adoptive brother, Lee Chaolan. Oh, and a Swedish half-brother, Lars Alexandersson. He hates both of them too. Is this a fighting game or a soap opera? Either way, I'm both intrigued and confused. Also kind of entranced by the Mishima clan's distinctive eyebrows. And really, considering all that, a girl that dresses up as a cat will fit right in at the next King of Iron Fist tournament, right? And I barely mentioned the Randy 2000-year-old tree, or the angel, or the eco-warrior turned wrestler, or the Hong Kong cop, or the Irish assassin that definitely doesn't have an Irish accent. Mind you, who'd want one of those, eh?
さあ、次はどんなことが待っているやら。迷わず行けよ。行けばわかるさ。